Hey, Kara. I see you. I bring you in. All right. Hi, David. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday.
Hi, Kipton.
Hi. How are
Wow.
you doing?
I am great. It's so nice to see your face.
Nice to see your face, too. How
Thank
are you
you.
doing this Friday?
I am really good. I'm just so excited to talk with you.
Yeah, I'm excited to have
Yeah,
you on.
thank you so much for having me.
Of
I'm just
course.
honored and I'm really looking forward to it.
No, me too. I'm really excited to have the conversation. So, for everybody that's joining, this is the Thinking of Art call series, something that I started during quarantine to really give people an opportunity to meet artists and creatives. We've had interior designers and a whole range of people on over the last 3 months now. And today we have Kara Anton, who's a dancer and artist. She's the founder of Give Kids Art, which is an incredible charity. And we're going to talk about that today and how you can support it. But first, tell me about your backstory. I mean, you were raised in Laguna. So what was it like growing or being raised there? So
Um,
beautiful. I love Laguna. I was there last weekend.
oh, really? It is beautiful. I
Yeah.
have to say I was very privileged and lucky to be raised in such a beautiful area that is full of the arts, as you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was fortunate to have a really supportive family growing up that my family, there's a lot of artists in my family, going back generations. My grandfather was actually a sculptor and did the reliefs on the Los Angeles Times building here. So it's funny, but my
In,
mother
19,
really,
in the 40s. I saw that in
yes,
1948. Yeah.
1948.
Amazing.
It is, but my parents really just promoted the arts. So I was immersed in them from, as you kind of mentioned, the young age of 5. My mother said that I was always drawing. I think starting around 3, and then 5, I took ballet, and they just always had a plethora of art materials available to me, and gave me, again, I was very fortunate to have private lessons
Sure.
in the arts, in also piano, singing. I kind of did it all from a young age. Yeah.
And at what point did you realize that you had this talent with art, with creating these
Oh,
beautiful paintings that it looks like the paint's dancing? And I know that Rothko and Matisse are big inspirations for you, but
they
what?
are. And it's kind of funny enough, when I was about, I want to say 5 or 6 years old, I had this fascination with Picasso. I think it was probably the shapes I was attracted to. Here, I'm actually going to take you on a little tour over
Oh
here.
yeah, please.
You can reverse the
Excited.
screen. Um, we had these art books growing up, and I still have them. These were my parents.
Oh,
And you can
amazing.
see this Picasso book here. They're over 30 years old, of course. And here I am. And my father, I wanted to imitate or copy a Picasso. So he got me this
Hmm.
huge
Hmm.
canvas, and it was
Hmm.
probably like 40 by 60. But at the time, I was so tiny that I had to stand on a step stool, and
Yeah.
I could still barely reach the top of the canvas. And he took a pencil and kind of created a grid for me to copy it. So yeah, and from there I fell in love with all the artists, and especially abstract expressionists. So,
Well, I mean, growing up in such a artistic community in Laguna, I mean, what a blessing. I mean,
yes, it
to have
was.
grown up in to be able to nurture all of your, your interests and your talents. So,
Yeah.
at what point did you decide you wanted to like become an artist? Did you transition to art full time at some? I mean, at what point did that happen? Because you also have this passion for dance.
Oh, it's interesting. So I was painting from a young age. Specifically, I love to paint and draw, but and then I started to really, I fell in love with Gene Kelly at the age of, I want to say 11 or 12.
Hmm.
For those of you who don't know who that is, watch Singing in the Rain. And he was such an inspiration to me. And
Incredible dancer. Yeah.
incredible and just talented on so many levels.
Yeah.
And so I went to my father, and I'm like, and mom. And I said, I want to learn how to tap dance. And so my father had actually taken a tap dance class, funny enough, at Tufts when he was in college. And he told me put on some rubber shoes and put out a piece of plywood and taught me how to shuffle. And then from there, I decided to enroll in dance classes and specifically tap. And then it led to ballet and jazz, hip hop, lyrical, modern. I did it all. And then I was competing. I was doing dance in school, outside of school. I was competing. I was dancing nearly 40 hours a week when I was a kid, or in high school, I should say. And around 17 or 18 years old, I mean, dance just became a part of my life. And I was still painting and drawing, but around 17, 18 years old, I had foot surgery. I had gotten accepted to college for dance, but I was having this horrible pain in my feet, probably from going on point too young.
Yeah.
And ended up having foot surgery. And while one foot healed phenomenally, the other one, on my big toe, the other one, I couldn't actually bend my toe for over 2 years. So it kind of halted my dance career. And after that, I had a serious identity crisis because for me, I was an artist. I was a dancer, and I was trying to find my way in other artistic media, or, creative mediums. Mm-hmm. So I went into theater mostly to see if I could help myself become less shy. I'm very shy.
Yeah. I understand that. I'm more of an introvert than extrovert.
You are?
So I totally get that. Mm-hmm.
I know this staying at home thing really works for us introverts. That's good.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, it's been difficult in many ways, but yeah, I like my space. So I get that.
Me too.
Yeah.
But getting back to kind of painting, I throughout my 20s, so after dance didn't quite work out, throughout my 20s, I was painting. I was living in Chicago for about 10 years, and I had the second bedroom that I turned into an art studio. I covered it with plastic and would get these giant canvases and just started to really, I never had really explored process art, or art therapy. And I kind of at the time created my own version of that and just used art as a therapeutic
for yourself
expression
really.
For myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And from there,
and then you became certified. You have your certification.
Yes.
So when
I'm hoping to get more education within child development shortly. I was actually signed up for classes before all this happened.
So in between there, you're traveling to 20 countries. I mean, I read your bio. I've done some research. So you've had an amazing life so far. I mean,
I have.
Incredible.
I've had a lot of chapters, as I like to refer to them, as I'm sure.
So I have definitely. I'm grateful for all the lessons. I don't call them mistakes. I just call them lessons, in this journey that we have. Where were some of your favorite countries that you went to? And in those countries, were you inspired to really go deeper into art? And where did kind of the seed happen and trigger you to create the charity?
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm Greek Italian, so of course, traveling to Greece and Italy, I felt
love Greece.
Yeah, I mean,
and Italy too, but yeah,
they're both beautiful.
The light in Greece is it's unreal. It's so incredible.
Sunsets too, amazing. Yeah. So I have this I don't know how to describe it. This just, you feel at home, I guess, culturally, because that's how I was raised in both countries. And I think, and a lot of, there's beautiful artwork coming out of Greece. I think even, wasn't Twombly, was he Greek, or he spent a lot of time in Greece, if I recall? But
I'll find out.
Yeah, just really inspired by the landscape there and the people. But in terms of all my travels, I really enjoyed, this was probably, I want to say 7 years ago, maybe more, but I was in Vietnam and really just love the people, love the culture, the landscape. It's absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite trips. But oh, my favorite trip, more recently, still probably 5 years ago, was I decided to go backpacking through Spain and Portugal with my friend Emma. And you know, I was kind of at the time where I'm like, I'm either going to go backpacking now or never. And it was the best experience of my life. We actually ended up spending the night. We stumped on this. We did the Camino walk. I don't know if you saw the movie The Way, the pilgrimage, but
no, I didn't. I haven't, but I've heard it. I've heard it's amazing.
It is. I highly recommend it. And on our walk, we stopped and stumbled upon this artist's home. His home was blue, and it was just so creative and whimsical and beautiful. And he couldn't speak any English, and my Spanish isn't the best. And he invited us into his home, and we ended up staying and cooking dinner with him and spending the night there. And it was a wonderful experience, and it really inspired me to see someone just live their life so what's the word?
Authentically.
Yes, authentically. Yeah. And everything that he touched was just creative and beautiful. And I think, especially in our culture here, we're so scared sometimes to make even our homes reflect who we are, and
totally right. Yeah.
It was just nice.
Yeah. We have these expectations of how we're programmed, of what we think the way we should be. And it's beautiful to experience that. So would you say that was the seed that started kind of your transition into, give kids art? Because I'm really interested to hear, like, what was the trigger for you to be able to say, okay, I'm ready. I want to create this. I want to focus on painting, and I love dance, but I also want to give back and help these kids.
You're helping me kind of soul search right now, because I haven't really thought about what was the seed that started it. But I would say I've been painting for a while regularly, and constantly educating myself within this field. But the impetus for Give Kids Art, I was working with these children, and I was at this point in my life and my career where I hadn't thought about starting a nonprofit, maybe when I was older and actually had tons of money to give away.
Yeah.
But I was at this point in my career where I was like, okay, I need to make decisions about where I spend my time. Because I was taking dance classes at Santa Monica City College. I was doing my digital marketing. I was working with these kids. I was painting. I was just all over the board.
And you got married at some point, yeah?
No, actually, I'm not married.
Oh, you're not married. Okay.
I didn't know. Partner named Noah. We've been together for, I want to say 3.5 years now.
Well, you have a partnership, so took a lot of time.
Yes, and we live together. And we have now a 12-year-old senior puppy that I've been taking care of regularly.
Love that. Love.
Yeah. But I was at this point where I needed to make decisions because I was spreading myself thin. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I never wanted to give up my time with the kids. And I really looked at that going, oh my God, I don't want to stop. I love it so much. And I love seeing the difference that just consistency and listening and time that you give to them can make. And from there, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And when I get an idea in my head, I just kind of go full steam ahead. And started the organization, and it's 100% volunteer based. The board is volunteer based, or of course the volunteers, and we have no overhead. I and my partner in crime, Brianna, we facilitate a lot of the programs ourselves. So,
and you're making the kits too. So explain what the art kits are for those that are listening, because I think it's really beautiful. One, that you started doing it and you felt like so called to continue to do it, and you followed your passion. But what's the process like of creating these kits, and then that you're as a team, your team is making these kits, right? And then you're distributing them to the kids, and then what happens at that point? how does the interaction happen with the kids?
So we decided to, let me just take a step back. We
Sure.
decided when COVID-19 hit and we had the safer at home order here in Los Angeles, we had to cancel our spring programming. And at that point, we took a couple weeks because we weren't sure what was going to happen, of course. And I was noticing all these nonprofits, these organizations, these art studios start to do these live events and this wonderful online programming. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, our kids in the communities that we serve likely don't have access to art supplies in order to enjoy these activities. So that was kind of the starting point for the art kits. We wanted to make sure that they had materials to create fearlessly from home at any time and to join in these online programs if they could. And from there, we started the Zoom programming that we're offering. But with the art kits, one of our biggest partners is the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. And one of their locations that we've regularly provide programming is Mar Vista Gardens in Mar Vista, California. And the people there are so great. If they're watching, thank you so much for your constant support. They started a grab and go meal location there. So they're handing out meals to these families daily. And they're kindly handing out our art kits.
Oh, that's
as
amazing.
an example. So when families come and pick up their food, they can get an art kit for their kid, and then that child can join us on our Zoom program.
That's beautiful. So how many kits have you been able to distribute so far?
Oh, nearly, I want to say 50 to 100 right now. And our goal is to raise money for another 100 art kits. We just secured our program, or we kind of secured our plan for summer. Again, we're moving one day at a time because things are changing so rapidly. So in the summer, we're looking to do a few programs. And I think the Boys and Girls Club right now, they're starting to welcome children on site, but they're only allowing employees to be there. So we're, and I think they have to space out the children. They're doing it in a very safe way. So on a given day, they can have 100 children in the building.
So what's been the feedback that you've been getting so far with the kids and the parents that are receiving these beautiful kits that you're doing?
Oh, it's been wonderful. If you go on our Instagram, you can see some pictures, or on our website. It's wonderful to see their faces, and then to see them on the Zoom joining us is great. And it was really helpful after we started the Zoom to hear that these children didn't actually have this art supplies. And on the first day I said, so I was trying to plan out a curriculum for them. And I was thinking, we can use recyclables, cardboard, toilet paper rolls, all these great things. And I said, how many of you have glue sticks or glue? Maybe you have scissors. No one had scissors. And so we're constantly, so far the Zoom program, which you can see all of our classes on our website if you go to Give Kids Art on Instagram, and then all the links are there. And you can see all of our Zoom classes and activities.
GiveKidsArt.org is their website too. Yeah. So another thing perfect. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that. So talk about your own art, right? So you're giving 100% of the proceeds of the sales of your own art, your beautiful art that you're doing.
Yes.
Which is amazing. So can you talk about that a little bit and show us some of the paintings?
I would love to. I want to show you a few more things though too. Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to show you, first off, I want you all to see the art kits. This is what they look like.
So what's in there? What all's in there?
So let's go over that. I made a little display for you.
Oh.
So here's what is in the art kit.
Okay.
And each child gets, I'll do this backwards. They get one watercolor set. Somebody's
asking, what's the cost of the kit?
Oh, it costs $10.
$10 per kit
is $10, and technically it could last up to 50 days or creations for a child. There's 50 pages of watercolor paper in here and a canvas board.
Okay.
So for these kits right now, the next iteration, we're going to include a glue stick and scissors, as I mentioned, since they don't have those, and we want to do more fun activities, some brushes, colored pencils, crayons.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a moment. Some art prompts, just in case they can't join us live or on Zoom. And so we go over like color resist, saltwater, saltwater color painting, etc.
So when you actually do the Zoom, do you have something specific that they're painting? That everybody's doing the same thing, or how does that work on the Zoom?
So let me with Zoom, it kind of resembles our on-site programming. And so I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but we're process art based. So we really work with the children to enjoy the process of creating art and not focusing on creating something beautiful or copying us in any sort of way.
Okay.
So our art activities, we usually start off with a discussion and an activity, if we can do it, some interactive activity. Recently we talked about unique butterflies. So we were talking, have you seen a butterfly? What colors do they have? And then we open it up so that the children can make their own unique butterfly. And we give them a lot of options. So they'll watch me draw, and I might go over the basics of, how to draw a wing or whatever it may be. And we discuss color or crayon resist. So I'll show them that. But I try to give them options in any activity so they can really hone in on their own creativity.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've given away 100 of those so far?
Yes, and we're looking to raise 100 more today. That's $10 in art kits, and that would be, I believe, $1,000 in donations if we can.
So in each kit, again, some people are just joining. So we're talking about Give Kids Art and the kits that they're giving to underprivileged kids that during this time, they can't get out to the store to buy any art supplies. So what Kara's organization is doing is supplying these kits. So in there you have what? Crayons, you have
we have
like
crayons,
a sketch pad.
We have 50 pages of watercolor paper. We have watercolors with paintbrushes, crayons, colored pencils, scissors, and a glue stick. And this is, again, $10 to create. Yeah. And we're looking to raise enough funds for 100 art kits. And all of your donations, 100% go to art supplies, whether it's these art kits or in general.
Amazing. Okay.
So I guess let's get to the art.
Let's talk about the art.
Left. We have about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about this beautiful art that you've created. Kara is also an artist, and she was a dancer, so her works are inspired. I mean, who really would you say is your main inspiration for your art? It's beautiful, by the way. It's gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
It's really textural.
It is.
A lot of texture. Is it oil or is it acrylic?
No, these are all acrylic.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think who my main inspiration would be. I'm such a fan of Rothko but he doesn't, it's not similar, of course, but I love colors and I love movement. And I think the whole idea, as you said earlier, I need to come up with probably a better name than dance painting.
But I get a sense of that. I see it. I see the dancing of the
capture the movement and the emotion. With each, just to give you a quick overview of my process, usually I go in with some feeling that I'm trying to communicate, and I will find a poem or some lyrics, a song, a quote, anything that kind of supports that feeling. And I always put on music. And for each of these 3 pieces I'm going to show you, they're all painted to a particular song.
Oh, amazing. So what song was this one painted to? Do you
So
remember?
this one was Dancing. Any of you fans of the boss? I'm sure. I hope so. This
I
was
am.
painted to
Yeah.
Dancing in the Dark, specifically a cover of that beautiful song by Eddie Berman.
Okay,
And I
so
think
what's the price of this piece and what's the size?
it's 16 by 20. It's
Okay.
7/8 inch deep, and it's acrylic on canvas, and it's starting at 150. And what's interesting about this too, Kipton, is so I started off with this idea in mind, and I just see a comment, can't start a fire without a flame.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but sometimes I dance around and I don't have an end goal in mind. And when I was listening to this song on repeat, at the end of it, after I come out of this trance that I'm in, I realized that this is the flame. And the
Hmm.
whole song is that you can't start a fire without a spark. So I
Yeah.
kind of subconsciously painted this spark.
Love that. Okay, so that one's $150. It's 16 by 20. It's acrylic on canvas.
Yes,
Um,
frame is not included, but if you would like, if it gets,
there's a question, do you play music while painting with the kids or is that too distracting for them?
it depends on the activity we're doing. It tends to be distracting. And we have different ones where it's more meditation based and introspective, but sometimes we do painting to music.
Hmm.
So in
Okay,
that case, we play songs.
awesome. Okay, how much would the frame be if people want the frame?
I would say 150 without frame and 250 with frame.
Okay. All right, what's next? Let's see what's next.
So this is just sitting in frame. This is my favorite piece recently that I've done. It's called Brighter Days Ahead, and it was painted to a song called Perpetuum Mobile.
Hmm.
Someone donated.
Beautiful.
Thank you. There's
What
a
size
lot
is
of them.
that one?
These are all 16 by 20
Okay.
acrylic on canvas.
Same price?
Yes, starting at 150.
I will buy that one for 250
Really?
with the frame,
Oh,
right?
yes. Thank you so much, Kipton.
I will buy that one. I
That's
like
my
that one too. That one speaks to me.
and if you listen to
Brighter,
the
and it has a
song,
really positive message. Brighter days ahead.
yes. Thank you
Yes.
so much. I'm so honored.
So how many
And these
kits? How many kits will that do?
15 art kits for
15 art
150.
kits. Awesome. Okay. Sold. One sold.
Yes. Thank you.
Yay. All right. That one's
Uh,
mine.
well, and you have to listen to this. Let me know what you think after you listen to the song because I think it
Okay.
captures it too.
I will.
Okay, and
I
then
will.
our next one, I have a chair behind me. This is Optimism,
Beautiful.
and again, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. It's just sitting in the frame, so it's not actually framed yet. But
Colors are great. Colors are nice.
thank you. This was painted to, I think it's called Real Love Baby by Father John. Is it Father John Misty? I can't
Oh yeah.
remember.
I
Yeah.
saw I saw him perform at Coachella. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
really?
Yeah, he's so awesome. Yeah. I love
I
his
love these
music.
comments. Optimistic passion. That's great.
Yeah. There's in so rich colors. You have a lot of good comments on here. What's
Oh,
next?
thank
Okay.
you.
So what's
Thanks,
next?
everyone.
Are there more?
Well, I have more. If people want them. They're sitting on my floor over here. But this one I just recently did. It was dedicated to the Black Lives Matter movement, and I want to say 18 by 24. It's called
Wow.
Hope.
That one's powerful. There's a lot of emotion in that piece.
There is, and it was painted to River by Leon Bridges, which is a beautiful
Mm,
song. And this one is very textural too. You can see.
I like it. I really like it.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Let's see if anyone.
Optimistic passion, people are saying. There are a lot of good comments.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, everyone. Trying to see. There's.
I don't know if you guys are making comments on prices. If you want to buy, if any of these that you want to buy, you need to speak up and say which one you want. before they
Oh, I see
before we sell
Zimmy's.
out.
Zimmy Zam, 100. Which one? Which painting?
Zimmy Zam. You're offering $100, or you want to donate $100?
Yeah, so if you would like one of these paintings, I know one's already taken by Kipton, please in the comments just say you want the painting. This one's called Hope.
Okay.
Let me go back. This one is Optimism.
Optimism is that one. Okay.
You
Right.
already purchased this one. And then this is called A Little Spark.
A Little Spark. It looks like there's a bird over there on the left.
On the left.
I see a bird. I see it. No, look at the paint. Go back to the painting. No, in the painting,
right
in
here.
the left. No, down the blue, down below it. To me, it looks like a bird on a branch. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
that's interesting. Oh, it does. I never noticed that. That's
beautiful. What I see.
I love that.
That I see. Yeah, that's a beautiful piece. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I love blue, but the other one spoke to me more. What was the name of this one?
This is A Little Spark. And again, this
Spark.
was painted to Dancing in the Dark.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Can we look at some more that you have on the floor?
Oh, sure. I just set these out. So these are clearly unframed. This is Gangster in a Crown.
That's nice.
This one is Multitudes.
Oh, Hope 250. It's sold.
Oh, nice.
Nug Shot is the Instagram name.
Thank you.
So Nug Shot. I'm sorry, your name is not showing it. Just your username, but just message Kara or myself directly, and then we can arrange to get it to you. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I think I saw Zimmy Zammy wanted Hope, or someone did, but
wait, let's see.
And if you want,
Zimmy Zam said $100 for the one, Two Rivers.
Oh, this one, Hope.
That one.
Okay, perfect.
Will you sell that one for $100?
Ooh, does anyone? I've been outbid.
It's 150, right? That's what you're asking for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Zimmy Zam, will you do 150?
I think she said I've been outbid.
There you go. I love it. Nice one, Mugshot. All yours. Okay, Mugshot got it. Okay. All right. Is there another one that we can show Zimmy Zam?
Yes, there's another one.
And Optimism is sold for $250. That's good.
And this one was painted to, if you know Max Richter, love him, the composer, his rendition of what's it called? Vivaldi. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's a gorgeous one.
This one.
I love the pink. I mean, can you go back to that one?
Yes.
The pink one? What was this one? Explain this one. We lost you a second. Your inspiration for this one? That looks like, explain the inspiration for this one.
This one is called Happy Tears. And I was having this moment, I don't know how many of you, I'm sure all of you have experienced this at some point, where you're just so happy and overwhelmed with beauty that you start to cry. And I went on a walk. Of course, there's a lot of emotions for the past 3 months, being cooped up and with everything going on. And we have a balcony here, and I was looking out after this walk and just was so overwhelmed with how grateful and I am and how beautiful life is, even in the simple things, like going for a walk. So that's what inspired this.
I like that one too. It's that was an emotional, very heartfelt piece. And it's called, what is it? Golden Tears?
It's called Happy Tears.
Oh, Happy Tears. Okay, Happy Tears.
And this one is called, I can't get there, but this one is called Thinking of Tomorrow, this blue one. And again, it was kind of inspired by wanting to think positively about the days ahead.
Okay.
And then Multitudes. This was actually inspired by a life journey meditation. So not a song.
Amazing. Wow. Great colors. Really vibrant.
Thank you. And again, this is Gangster in a Crowd. And this was inspired by a poem by, it's on my website. You can look at karaantonart.com. I'm trying to think if there's anything
awesome.
else.
So did we sell 3? Did we sell 3? Is that what we did?
I think we might have sold 3. That's very exciting. And I didn't even
really
get to show you some of the kids' art that I put up. I don't know.
Oh, well, let's show us the kids' art. Yeah.
So again, everyone, art kits, actually, I'll show this. Please feel free if you didn't get any artwork to, if you can, I would really love your support you can text Give Kids Art to 44321. Each art kit is $10, and that will supply one child with like 50 pages of creativity.
Nice. Like it.
And you can see the impact. So let's start. This is some of the kids' artwork. I framed this one because it was very meaningful to me. This is by a little girl named Deja. I think I've been working with her at least a year and a half.
Cute. So cute.
Yeah, we were doing an aquarium. I think the project was an aquarium. We were talking about diversity.
And she made it for you and gave it to you?
Well, she gave it to me, but the creating process was really difficult to stay with her. You know, when she started working with us, she was super creative. But again, around this age range, when you start hitting 7, 8, children start realizing that there's something such as right and wrong, and comparing themselves, and they kind of get educated out of their creativity a little bit. And she was comparing herself to another kid, and she's like, oh, it doesn't look like a shark. It's a horrible shark. And she kept asking me to help her draw. And I finally I sat down and talked with her, and I said, Deja, do you know, you don't have to, you can make Deja's shark, and Deja's shark is special. It doesn't have to look like everyone else. And some of the most expensive paintings in the world, and some of the most amazing artists, you know, it doesn't look like everything else. So we had this conversation that was really powerful.
Picasso, the perfect example.
Exactly. And I try to show the kids that too. I'll pull up a Rothko or Picasso and pop it. Just to
I think that's a really, really good point, because you're building confidence. You're breaking down those barriers of what the perception is of what perfect is. And in art, you're creating that beautiful flow of just authenticity with however they're wanting to express themselves. I love that.
Beautifully said. I really like how you said that. And then this one was created by a little boy named Xander. And I love this piece. He's always engaged and excited to do art with us. But we were doing a Who I Am collage. And at the end of it, one of the things I always work on with the kids is listening. You can never listen too much, and giving them the opportunity to express themselves verbally as well as through the arts. And I asked him, I said, tell me about your piece. And he describes the collage and why he made the decisions he made to include these items on there. And I say, so tell me about the feathers. And of course, in my head, I'm thinking he probably just liked feathers. But Xander told me that each feather represents an emotion that he feels. And he labeled each color with an emotion.
Beautiful.
And it was just a reminder to me to never make assumptions with children. They have these beautiful worlds that they live in. And this one, and they're very deep too and observant. And I'm sure people that have children know that as well. But this one was created by a little boy named Xavier. I believe he's about 10 years old. And I can't even remember the art prompt, but at the end of it, again, I said, wait, can you please tell me about your artwork? And his answer was that this is the juxtaposition between good and evil.
Wow. How old is he?
I would say 10 to 12 years old. He's very profound in all his artwork.
He is. That's beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of emotion in that piece. I can tell. He doesn't look like, it looks like a much more mature or an older person painted that piece. That's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, and
a lot of depth in that.
I love he named it The Great Mystery, which is really, I mean,
Wow,
speaks to what
cool.
life is all about.
Well, in essence of time, we're a little bit over our time, but I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for supporting Give Kids Art. We sold 3 paintings on the live Instagram call today. So how much did we raise, or how much did you raise?
I,
250, 250, and what was the other price of the other one?
I don't know. What was it?
We'll have to go back. We'll have to go back.
150?
I bought the one for 250, and then we have mugshot. Let's see here. Mugshot did Hope for 250,
Oh, great. Thank you so
and
much.
then you guys, who bought the other one? Who bought the other one? Looking through
So if it
the
was
comments.
650, then we just raised money for 65 art kits, and that's amazing. If it was
Awesome.
650. So thank
65 art kids.
yeah.
Yay.
Thank
And you can still, yay. I'm so
you.
excited for you. That's
I
awesome.
am too.
And then if
And the
people,
kids are going to love it.
yeah, and if people want to give, they can go to givekidsart.org. They can go on the Instagram and donate, and you can text 44321. Have all the handles there and everything. So,
Thanks,
and
Amizami. Thursday Museum.
yeah, thanks everybody. I will post this on my Instagram, so it's on IGTV, and then I'll also upload it to YouTube so we can share it with other people. But thank you so much for taking
Wow.
time. It's amazing
Thank
what you're
you,
doing.
Kristen. Thank you so
You're welcome.
much. I really
You're very
appreciate it.
welcome. You're very welcome. And I look forward to getting my painting.
Yes, I will. Okay. And anyone that did buy a painting, please, again, just contact Give Kids Art or me directly with your address, and we'll send it out and donate. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
your support, Kipton. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll talk to you soon. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye,
Happy
everyone.
weekend.
Thank you.